Hello again, everyone. Happy holidays. I feel like we're all very festive tonight. Joe, you have your tree.
Right.
I have my light up. Look, guys, it's going to light up. I have, oh my God, I promise I rehearsed this. I have my light up Hanukkah sweater because I'm Jewish, if you didn't already know. Oh, ooh, peanuts. Ooh. So we're ready for this. Thank you again for joining us tonight for this special edition of our programming. That was just so amazing, and we always say that Billy Recce is our pioneer with all of our programming. He was our first virtual programming in March, and this was such a different thing for us tonight, and I'm so happy about how that was. For anyone just tuning in, I'm Jen Sandler, and I'm the Associate Artistic Director.
And I'm Joe Barros. I'm the Artistic Director. And now that you've had a taste of the bestest office Christmas party ever, we want to give you a chance to meet the team.
Yeah, so without any further ado, live from their homes are the writers of the Bestest Office Christmas Party, Billy Recce and Drew Larimore.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Thanks so much for having us. This has been so fun.
A lot of fun.
Thanks for being here. It was so awesome getting to share this with the bar that I was just in before I was here on the corner of 49th and 10th, spreading the gospel of this musical.
I love it. I love it. Well, we had so much fun working on it. Yes, thank you. We are really going all out with the sweaters tonight. Yeah, so much fun. So much fun doing this.
Today, I showed my class at New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts the entire presentation, and then we had John Higgins come in and talk to them, and they loved it. They thought it was so much fun. They talked about how dynamic the characters were, and they chatted the entire time together, celebrating, lifting it up. They changed their names in the Zoom to Puka Puka, not internet porn.
Naturally, yeah.
But you know what I mean. Anyway, Billy, you are a writer and a New York native. You are the writer of the incredible off-Broadway hit, a musical about Star Wars. In fact, it is living proudly outside of the theater on 46th Street. I see it each day.
Still there.
Your songs, that's right. Your songs have been heard all around New York City, and you're the winner of awards such as the York Theater Company's NEO Award and the MAC Award. Very prestigious. Your other shows in development include Balloon Boy. You were the youngest writer at 17 to be selected for NYMF, the New York Musical Festival. And you're also the writer of Wally Weasel's GOP Jamboree and a new musical about a new musical called Dimes, which we presented in March as a part of our first virtual New York series, which Jen and I had a blast creating, and we had no idea what we were doing, but it was, like Jen said, it was the seed to everything that we're doing now.
And it was funny, I said this too, I said, you're a pioneer, and you said, I don't know if I'm your guinea pig, you're a pioneer. I say pioneer.
A little bit of all of it, yeah.
And let's make sure we tell people what Dimes is. It's a queer retelling of the kidnapping of Frank Sinatra Jr. Did I get that right?
You did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're still working on that in quarantine, and hopefully we'll be coming to a stage in 2021.
We had a whole cast together to do it in person, and then the world exploded.
I know. Cool. I think dying caused the pandemic. No.
You have it.
Yeah.
And Drew, you, wonderful Drew Larimore, you are also an NYTV favorite and writer. Your writing spans many mediums. You are the writer and co-creator of the series Janice Gunter Ghost Hunter, which is available to stream on Roku. You are also the writer of the off-Broadway and international hit Out of Iceland, starring the great Leah Delaria. And you're also the writer of The Anniversary, The Cannibals of McGower County, and Smithtown, which just premiered digitally last month, starring Michael Urie. You're also the co-writer with our friend Jay O'Connor Navarro of the new Peggy, which was a part of our New Work series.
And we saw Jay on the chat before.
Yeah, and so now to lift up both the new Peggy, Dimes, Drew Larimore, and Billy Recce, here is a little retrospective of Drew and Billy's time in our New Work series.
If he didn't have me to quietly clean up his spills, if he didn't have me to make sure he gets fed, if he didn't have me to tell him when to take his pills, if he didn't have me, he'd probably be dead.
I feel like I
I smell this town's adventures, that the future's cooking up. 'Cause now that I've got you, things are looking up. The new Peggy
can mountain climb while making dinner.
The new Peggy can have sex in a swing. The new Peggy likes the Van Pelt pirate song and pierces her vagina with a matching eyebrow ring.
So one night turns to 2 or 3, and suddenly 5 years pass like a fling. But I wouldn't trade that Brooklyn for a thing.
If it wasn't for me, this place would be a dust rag. If it wasn't for me, the air would smell so stale. If it wasn't for me, who does the morning donut run? Nothing would ever get done. If it wasn't for me, Peggy, the dependable Peggy.
Yay!
Yeah, I love
Yay.
That was so nice. Thank you all.
So great.
Thank you.
Of course.
Drew,
Who
you
knew
have 2 shows with songs about sex swings. How thrilling is that?
who knew you could rhyme sex swing with piercing her vagina with a matching eyebrow ring? It's just genius.
You know, I've got a co-lyricist on that, and that was some hard work. So there you go.
All right. So, in all seriousness now, when did you both realize you were writers, and how did you come to collaborate together?
Billy, you want to go?
I mean, ever since I was a kid, I was a writer. You know, I was a child actor, I suppose, as most musical theater writers begin. But my favorite day of rehearsals were always like getting the hardbound script, you know, and I would just, that sort of like propelled me into writing musicals. I was like, I want to just like see what I wrote, this like, you know, physical manifestation of this image in my head. And yeah, ever since then, since I was a kid, I've been writing musicals. Yeah. What about you, Drew?
Yeah, it's funny you say this. I was just home recently. I'm from Louisville, and I came across a book, and it was an original musical I wrote called Harvest Town. I think I wrote it when I was like 9, and it was fully all lyrics. It was about this town preparing for harvest. I mean, it was so funny. So I guess it started there. But yeah, I been writing shows for a long time, and luckily I had some success in high school, having some of them in New York, which was really awesome. So.
How did you two come to collaborate together?
Yeah, well, we've been working on this for a few years now in various drafts, so I'm not sure where the genesis actually happened, but I was referred to Billy because I've been wanting to work on this show for a while, offering a viable second stage option for a holiday show that's irreverent and bawdy and a nice alternative to some of the more commercial offerings around the holidays. And Billy was recommended to me, so that was really really fun, and we connected over this, and it's gone under several drafts. What you saw tonight is a really new draft with 2 new songs and some other edits, so it's really nice to see that it's working. So.
Thank you, Phil Sloves. I'm glad people like my sweater that are also good. Some of them already on this right now. So we're going to keep talking about...
Oh, really, really quickly before you unveil our next guest, I was just going to say, I'm excited that you're working with Billy. I feel that, you know, especially when Mistletoe Porn started, it's like you can really feel the geniusness in how well he does pastiche and style. He really understands tone, style, and in this case, pastiches, because you're listening to that number and you're going, wait a minute, he stole... Oh, wow. Wow. This is really, really smart. You know, it really almost makes you feel like you're there in all the right ways.
And I feel like we did this Zoom reading a few months ago, and everyone was like, you two are 20, 30-year-olds trapped in old men's bodies just with the way you think. And it's true though.
Yeah. Probably old ladies' bodies. But yeah, I think we have the same sense of humor. And I think that helps, particularly with a piece like this. So.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to bring on... Well, we're going to bring on our next guest. We have our amazing director of this project, all the way from Florida. I'm jealous of his weather. It's Aaron Simon Grimbles.
Nice.
So, what inspired all of you to tell this musical comedy that is about office party culture, Christmas culture?
Well, I think I'll let Drew take that because I know this sort of started. This was his seedling, right?
Yeah, I'll try not to get too serious. I have a tendency to get a little Eugene O'Neill about these funny shows I write. But I think that the holidays is a complicated time. It's a lot of emotions. There are a lot of highs and real low lows. And I am intrigued by the holidays, like as case in point, the tree in the background and how alluring I find it. And then I'm also disgusted with it another time. So I wanted to write a show about that mix of emotions because it really is sort of a ticking time bomb as you sort of edge on to New Year's. And I think there's a lot of humor in it. Just look around the dinner table at your family at the holidays. The emotions are actually running really high. And, I don't think we've seen it quite in this irreverent way before. And luckily, all that Billy took and ran with. So, it's...
And selfishly, like what you were saying, Joe, I mean, I love pastiche and I personally love Christmas music. I am ready for Christmas music to start playing the day after Halloween, just because it's like the one time of the year that the mainstream radio is playing well-written music, right? So I was I was so pumped to sit down and write in a pastiche, feel and put all these Christmas references that you're talking about and sort of pay homage to this style of music that I just really enjoy.
I'm a bah humbug and I not into that music playing the day after Halloween. I'm so sorry.
But then, when the time is right, you break out the light up sweater, and that's
this sweater says everything you need to know about me.
I love it.
I also have a lot of props tonight. I have a teddy bear, a Hanukkah teddy bear.
I know. If I'd known, I would have brought props.
Yeah. So, Aaron, the only other Jew in the screen right now, how did you become involved with this project?
Yeah. So sort of very recently, semi-roundabout, I met Billy for the first time a few months ago, probably way longer than I realized now, just because of how much time has passed.
Yeah, I think the beginning of the year,
Yeah, I guess at the beginning of the year. And we had a lot of mutual friends, and I asked if I could read some of your work and listen to some of your work. And you didn't send me this, but everything you sent me was so exciting. And there's this amazing tension between the almost mundanity of the lives and the perception of mundanity in the lives and the people, and the sort of and grandeur of where the music takes them. And I feel like it almost as I think Drew and Billy really beautifully find together on this show, lets you laugh at them until it calls you out for laughing at them, and then holds you and says, that's okay. It's okay because same. And so we met, we connected, I read his work. I was really excited about it. And I really wanted to work with him on something. And then I know that when New York Theater Barn was putting together this presentation of the show, it appeared in my email as read this. Would this be something that you'd be excited about? And I read what Billy and Drew put together and thought everything that I just said and was really excited. And then we met, and I met Drew, and then we all hopped on a FaceTime call together, and here we are.
And we just so loved working with Aaron too. I mean, he's a Jew, but he gets the pain of the holiday season, right?
I look forward to the time of year when this type of music is on the popular radio so much. I can't tell you how much.
Go hide in a corner now. Bye.
How often do you get to go to Starbucks and hear Ella Fitzgerald? Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I grew up loving Christmas, and I grew up Catholic, and actually reading the gospel at church, sort of as the narrator to the nativity. The priest would actually bless me to do it. Random. Anyway, enough about me. But my point is that as much as I love Christmas, I think I love Hanukkah just as much. Getting to share that with my friends and their families, the incredible food and the traditions. And I think, obviously that I think Christmas and Hanukkah, these and all of the holidays about it are about the indelible power of home, and they ground us at the end of the year and remind us why we do the things that we do and why we dream the way we dream.
But I think they not only ground us, but they set us off into La La Land and the future a little bit too, which I think is what happens a lot in this show. Is not only is the holidays, but the New Year's coming up, and it just really gets you thinking about what is next, and that's the sort of existential crises that these characters have as the play progresses, which we didn't see in the snippet. But they all vie to want to go with Ron and start over, and it's interesting to watch that.
And it's funny because you wrote the show before the pandemic, but I think the idea of what comes next right now, we're thinking about more than ever in a way. I'm sure, I don't think anyone's ever wanted a year to end more.
I actually love that. I really appreciate the line about the airborne illness. What is that line?
Was that a rewrite after March?
Yeah.
But I think it does go back to that sort of sense of isolation that we all sort of are feeling this year, and in particular this Christmas season. Everybody is sort of trapped where they are, right? And these are 5-6 characters who are just so desperate to get out and desperate for, like you're saying, what's to come. So I think we really found a lot of like really illuminating nuances about how it plays now when we were revisiting it.
I'm sure. Tell us more about the development of the show before this.
Well, the bulk of it has actually happened during the pandemic. We had an industry reading set for springtime, but of course that had to be canceled. So we released several digital tracks that we shot and Billy edited earlier this year with Paige Turner and Deb Radloff, who was featured in the video tonight, and some other amazing actors. So that really gave us a boost. They were really well received. And again, this is the first time we've seen this with 2 new numbers.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to say that I'm excited that Deb was actually playing a human. In this
right. Deb was playing a metal envelope in New Peggy the last time we saw her. So yeah. I don't know, but is Carol human? Like when you really dig into that role, like I don't know, the whole show. So I don't know.
She has so much range.
Yeah.
So, what did all of you learn from doing this virtual presentation? How much did it teach you? Aaron's thinking.
Yeah, and especially because I'd never heard it out loud before, unlike them. So it was my first time in a room with actors bringing it to life. So I think a lot of the things that may have been surprising to me, probably less so to them. That particularly enjoy.
Oh my God, my mom is the best comments tonight.
Hello, Mindy.
Rob and Robin Lane were killing it. Yeah.
I think, for me personally, because I was doing a lot of the editing for it, I think I found just so many like little like nuances of comedy that can be found in sort of the digital sphere, and sort of jokes that can only land in the digital sphere, right? All these sort of like little pop-up images and cartoons that I guess whatever, you can use a projector behind you on stage, but there's something like really sweet and very much in the world of this show to have like little like pixelated images just sort of like flashing by the screen and commenting on the action.
It felt very like Looney Tunes meets Christopher Guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, a sort of surreal, kind of stoner vibe to it,
Almost, I was actually going to say like Christopher Guest, Beavis and Butthead, and Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I also got like Kimmy Schmidt vibes too.
Those are all major influences, so I appreciate that.
And also on the other hand, it's nice I've seen this a handful of times now. So some lines are working, maybe some need a little bit of work, and that's an advantage of taping it and watching it over and over again. So I like it for that reason, just with some of the comedy and punching some of it up.
Yeah, I was still sitting here giving myself notes too. It's like, oh God, I should have looked at it one more time, but it was good.
But the reality and also the curse of it is that you now can check it out whenever you want to learn from it. And normally, if we had done this presentation, we would have had an archive for you, but like publicly, people would have considered it dead, or they missed it because if they hadn't been there. And I think this tool is important. And when you make changes and this is no longer what the show is and you don't want this in the world, you'll take it down, and that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And
it was a learning.
But it's great to see sort of, in terms of development of the show, how also just sort of like how easy it is to get some friends together. Like, hey, just, record your part in front of the wall, to this track, and we'll make a music video out of it and call it a day. And so it's been really energizing to be doing that. And like we said, we did that earlier in the year with a couple songs from the show, and it's just been a blast.
You still feel like the show's moving forward, which I think is really helpful in the development process during this time when you can just give up.
Yeah, and I think we started the pandemic thinking, like, how are we going to develop theater in a pandemic? And theater people are the best people because we always find a way to be resourceful and figure it out. And we're unconventionally developing musicals in a way that we can't, breathing the same air in the same room, but we're making it work.
Absolutely.
So that was a good seg because we have a special video right now of one of the music videos you were talking about. Do you guys want to set up the song?
Yes, it's a great number featuring Paige Turner, Deb Radloff, who we saw tonight, and Laura Loreno. And this is a song that comes later in the show called The Santa for Me.
And do you want to set up the action of the song?
Well, they are all dreaming about Puka Puka and running away, and they're all sort of lamenting that the typical Santa is not the one that they dream of. So it's sort of a metaphor for, them wanting to get out and start over.
So here is the Santa for me, and then we'll be back with one more question.
When I was a little girl at my windowsill,
Long before your D-class,
I teach stray kittens ASL
and how to drink from teacups.
When the other neighborhood girls would dream of Santa Claus coming down in his boots and suit, I'd have to take pause.
What was your problem?
Well, I wasn't like other girls, I didn't take their lead. A bearded old man was far too German for my speed. It's just too mean. He had to be a little less ice and more iced tea. The Santa for me, the Santa for me. He's big and he's bold and buff and black. Two globular goodies in his sack that I'm hungry for. The Santa for me, the Santa for me. Tailor-made for an Old Spice ad, and maybe was born in Trinidad. Well, we'd ask for more. And one day waiting beneath that tree, oh, maybe that baby be the Santa for me.
When I was a little girl in a trailer park
Back in Tallahassee,
I'd get off on People magazine.
You were super classy.
And I found my feminist heroes wearing curious sporty spies. I saw Gloria instead in Anna Nicole and Heidi Fleiss. They prove that the classy girls never give or get ahead. And now it's not any Santa that'll make my legs spread. I always say I like them gray, and when they're swallowing 10 pills a day. The Santa for me, the Santa for me. He has to remove his teeth at night, tell stories of Warsaw through the light of a nursing home suite. The Santa for me, the Santa for me. He's like a fine wine aged to its peak, would nap like a fiend through the work week and use tubes to eat. He's out there seizing constantly. Oh, maybe that babe he'd be the Santa for me.
No, he doesn't have to be dying. He just has to be a man of few words because he can't remember any of them. And even if he did, he'd get confused and crap his pants.
I don't know why, but I've always had trouble finding a man on my level.
Can't imagine why.
No one shares my mutual interests in sharp objects or forensic files.
Sing it, Carol.
The Santa for me, the Santa for me, can fend off 12 ninjas like a pro, is trained in jiu-jitsu and judo, and knows it's an art. The Santa for me, the Santa for me, has more than a pocket knife to yield, but his pistol's the only thing concealed, not shy with his heart. Can kick an ass just like Bruce Lee. Oh, maybe that baby be
the Santa for me, the Santa for
sharpening his machete.
His will is written to a T.
He's got what the kids call a BBC.
Oh, maybe that baby will be the Santa for me. The Santa for me.
Yay.
Yay.
Showstopper.
So
Love that number.
my last question for you is this. About a year ago, we presented a new musical called Love and Yogurt, and we built an immersive grocery store. We set it in this health food store, and that show could actually.
Many of the cast members from
Right,
Sandler and that.
Robles, Phil Sloves, and the incredible John Higgins. What's interesting about that is a show like that could actually work in the exact same way, with even more room for the actors and cameras if we took out an audience. And I actually think that this show would work really well on a set that was an office, in an immersive space, especially in these times where less people need to be there. So with that said, is there any theater company or sort of space that you could imagine this happening? Or do you kind of want to leave the possibilities open for the next year to see all of the amazing things that could happen next holiday season or in preparation for it?
Billy.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to spoil anything. I think we'd love to talk to as many people who are interested about this show. But I think what you're saying is so true. It's a small unit set. But it sort of takes place in this environment where just sort of like a lot of like fun, intimate moments can happen. Like if you are zooming in, if you are, panning out or so there definitely is a world, I think, where we would love to do some sort of hybrid. And it's just a story that we love telling. Like that last song, I was here like bopping in my seat and I wrote the damn thing. It's like, it's just some really fun music and that we want to get out there. And hopefully by next Christmas, we will be able to see this in a more fully formed light.
Yeah, it's a versatile show. We were writing it as a second stage alternative to more mainstream commercial offerings. And so it can work in a smaller 99-cent theater, 99-cent, Freudian slip. 99-seat theater. It could work in an office party. It could work. It could work in a gallery space. So for 99 cents, the show can be yours. But yeah, it's versatile. I think we're writing it for that reason. But I'd love to see it in an office environment. That would be so wild.
Well, just if 1 million people saw it for 99 cents,
you make a lot of money. Aaron, what about you?
I think we should take this conversation offline because I don't want anyone to steal this. Yeah.
Aaron, what about you? How do you feel about where?
About what?
How do you feel about this? Do you see it the same way they do?
Oh, thrilling. Are you kidding? And the idea of a single set filmed production of it, where then moments like you saw Puka Puka tonight, the moments where it expands, what would it be like to find the breathing room in that and as a camera space? It's cool. Exciting.
And I should also say that I think the way that some of the songs are written, they can stand on their own 2 feet and be a part of other evenings as well. Not all of them, but I think a lot of them have a universal anti-Christmas Christmas appeal, particularly the last one we saw. So hopefully there's a lot of room for life for this in other areas.
By the way, I love what Aaron said too, because if your unit set is this office, how do you create magic that transports you outside, potentially using lighting and only things in the magic of the office?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can do a thing, right? Where just cabinets are opening up and files.
Finding the theatrical equivalent of what you found in editing the videos. If you establish this aesthetic world, then what does that look like on stage within the office space? How does that?
Exactly. I can still have an animated octopus pop up somewhere for Puka Puka.
Oh yeah.
Very important.
Or it's more punch comes through from the guest drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight and for this beautiful presentation. We can't wait to see more from the show, and we hope we don't have to wait until next holiday season.
Christmas
Or next Hanukkah, because Hanukkah is important too.
Heck yeah.
Christmas in July. Christmas in Key West.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In Florida.
Thanks so much for having us, guys.
Thank
You guys
you.
soon.
Thank you. All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. Next week, we will be back with our last show of 2020 with the new musicals Garden of Starflowers and an incomplete list of all the things I'm going to miss when the world is no longer.
It's a long title, but
It's sort of like a funny thing happened on the way to the forum.
Honestly. So Garden of Starflowers is written by Marcia Sayer, and an incomplete list of all the things I'm going to miss when the world is no longer, got it, is written by Dante Green with additional music and lyrics by Marley Gordon and Lyle Hintz.
It takes an incredible amount of work to make tonight's show happen, and in order to continue to lift up artists and original musicals, we really need your help. So please join our generous donors by making your gift today on our website at nytheaterbarn.org/give.
Again, that link is nytheaterbarn.org/give. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Have a great first night of Hanukkah tomorrow if you are celebrating, and we will see you next week.
Yes, thank you for supporting live theater. Good night.
Good night.
Musical theater is capable of holding space for stories that have weight and that are important and that matter and that have the power to change people's lives and are entertainment, but also a form of social justice.
Thank you, Theater Barn. Thank you very much, and be safe, be well, and just know that I send my love.
Our journey with New York Theater Barn as a director, choreographer, producer,
and writer
led us both to empower and be empowered by incredible artists and extraordinary stories.
and meet each other and make this baby after we got married.
Right?
We're lucky that we got to be a part of this.
It's
And thank you, Avi. Thank you, Joe, Hector. Love you guys. And my amazing cast. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Lasky. I'm a trustee of the Amber Foundation and a huge fan of New York Theater Barn. As a dancer and choreographer myself, I know how important it is to have a home that supports the unique process of incubating an original musical through dance.